So, alright, going live. Hello and welcome to Zondell, Lands of Discordance, a Dungeons & Dragons 5e campaign. Finally, after several weeks of being unable to run it, we are able to run a short session, and we'll see how things go. We are on our 90th session tonight. So, we will resume where we left off last. The party has fought and defeated the secondary frost giant undead that they found, and after getting past all of the different sleighs that were buried in the snow and other obstacles, realized that Yllenda didn't catch up with them like she had said, and turned around and went to go and find out what happened. Upon finding her bloody corpse on the ground and Starfall nowhere nearby, they ended up looking around and found the body of Garnick, and upon examining him further, found that a parasite had been attached to him, one of the Unag, which had been given a ring of polymorph in order to conceal the fact that it had been puppeteering Garnick's dead corpse. On trying to figure out what else can be done, and in order to see what could be done to either bring Yllenda back or continue onward toward Castle Ebonpeak and find out what could be done, and if Strahd the Alchemist was in Count Strahd's body, Duke Strahd now, they watched as Syl attempted to summon Dantalion, and the first time it did not work, and the second time it was delayed, and as it finished, Dantalion was holding Count Strahd's body and pulling out the soul of Strahd the Alchemist for giving the body to the others. There's a bit of discussion where some misassumptions were laid bare that no, Dantalion did not have to make pacts or kill, but it would be an inconvenience if he had to deal with the upper pact devils that would come to find out what was going on. On discussion, it was revealed that he had been around for quite some time, according to him, for a few thousand years at least, which goes beyond the shattering, and that there were individuals that at one point, Dantalion, whoever or whatever they were, did have some modicum of care for, but that at present everything that they had been slowly and steadily working toward was about to reach fruition, and that the party could help in that regard and potentially be rewarded, either by one, going and facing and killing Dagon and allowing him to be brought over afterward to take a piece of its soul, or to go back to shimmer, and then onward to the realm that had been seen through a rift, where the dismembered lord had looked on the party and sent some of the Morrow and out to attack. It was said that Darwin could get through part of the defenses that were blocking Dantalion there, and once inside, find a way to deal with it, or the party as a whole to try and deal with the dismembered lord. But on asking other information, Dantalion didn't provide much else, and did not confirm nor deny whether they had any part to play in what had happened to Yllenda and Garnick. And they left without being unsummoned or released, proving that whatever they were, the summoning was not what had forced them to come over. That is where we had left off last. So, what are you going to say and discuss as you are covering from this newfound information and situation?
Well,
is it too soon to take a long rest?
Well, no, you could take one. It just simply means that you're not going to move further forward at all.
But anyways, discussion.
I don't remember how to open this garage. I don't get it.
So we have Strahd's body. We don't have his soul, right?
Well, technically, we can now cast Reckless Resurrection on that body to get his soul back.
If it is
Willing and able.
Enable, yeah. Anybody have that spell?
Now, remember
does.
this? We were
Whoever
talking.
Adam is.
Anybody got a summoning spell specifically for Adam?
Wait. We need a reviving spell, correct?
Resurrection.
The spell has to be resurrection.
No, but it
Yeah.
has to get a dead body up.
No, because Revivify only has to be within the minute, and then the next one is within like.
10 days.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the next one is Resurrection, no? Or is it Raised Dead?
It's raised dead.
But what I
Yeah, Raised Dead is up to 10 days.
Yeah.
If they have the spell, they would know.
But he's been dead for a long time.
He's only been dead for less than 10 days.
Yeah.
But he's
He is undead, technically still alive, still has the soul. He's been dead, soul departed for less than 10 days.
Okay. Because that's always confused me with the undead. How resurrecting them would work. Alright, so we need to find Adam.
Yeah. Raise Dead in the second paragraph states the spell can't return an undead creature to life.
Yeah, okay.
True Resurrection or Reincarnate would work. There is a character which Syl, at the very least, does know that can do Reincarnate.
Is this a person we are on good terms with?
Well, you haven't talked to them in quite a while, but they were the one who reincarnated you a few times.
So we still have to go to the Ebonpeak anyways.
Well, you don't know where they're at. It was Harkin Lucas, the wolf wearer.
Yeah, the werewolf. Oh, wolf wearer, yeah. But this is a new timeline, right? Let's try looking for him where we found him
Nobody
the first
seems to
time.
know yet because nobody's gone to any actual city yet, except for the ruins. You guys were like, oh, well, that thing's going toward the villages to attack. We're going to go the other way.
Okay, still got to go to Castle Ebonpeak to know for sure. Are we gonna bring Yollanda's body with us?
That's entirely up to your choices.
That's talking to the apparently myself.
I mean, yeah.
Do we really ask Benevolence what we want to do as a plan? Are we really going to ask I mean, we can ask Benevolence. I don't think we want to ask Benevolence. Because at most, I was just going to use Revivify. So whatever we're doing, I'm at this point, it's probably my closest friends aren't dead, so I'm not that concerned about it. In all honesty, this is the mind of Benevolence speaking.
Yolanda would be so hurt.
We weren't that close.
All the times that she kept you from getting attacked while you're watching butterflies?
Yeah, resurrection. 1 year, resurrection. Oh, touch the dead creature. No more than a century. That didn't divulge and that isn't undead.
Yep, true resurrection for an undead or reincarnate.
Or a wish spell.
Yes, and there's a way to get a wish spell, but
We don't have that sword right now.
Umbra, I mean, still, is there stuff still on their bodies? Like for Garnick and Yllenda?
yes.
Well, let's see what they have.
Okay.
Roll them for loot.
Yeah, loot them.
Roll that beautiful loot footage.
I mean, we can give it back if we ever get her up.
Exactly.
Okay.
Same with Garnick.
I might not remember all the stuff I took, but, you know.
what do we need to roll for that, or do we need to?
I would say, because of the fact that they were clearly in a struggle and in the snow, I would say investigate to see whether or not you can recover what maybe was on them or maybe in the snow.
Alright, still got a dirty 20.
Um, 21. Miranda's got 19.
Okay.
Torque don't know this bitch, and Miranda's a thief, so.
All right. So, on Yllenda, you don't find anything really aside from her attire, which is nicely done for what it is. It is more or less kind of a gi that is designed for being able to move freely, but it's silken. It's very soft, very finely crafted, and she doesn't really carry much else on her. Starfall was comprised of several items that she once held on her, but when they merged together, she no longer was holding them.
So what does she have?
She has a silk gi.
What's a gi?
You know, the kind of stuff that monks and martial artists wear when they're doing training and such.
Oh, she has a silk robe. Got it.
Yeah. It's a little different than a robe, but it's similar at least.
She got no money. She got no other weapons.
I'm
She just has
checking right now in terms of money, but she does not have any other weapons on her.
such an unprepared, not even a pitten.
Well, she can
we
fly.
Did rescue her, so a lot of the stuff is probably still in the house.
The one with all the portals around it that we abandoned?
Yeah. And what did Garnick have?
Alright. And she did have 18 gold on her.
Gold.
She could always ask her sister for money if she needed it, so she didn't really carry much with her.
Miranda steals the gold. Sleight of hand. 37.
Okay.
While she's picking through, it's like putting it in her own pocket. Damn, this bitch is poor. Not even a cent. All she got is the clothes on her back.
Emperor's just gonna point out and say that we had just rescued her from the evil Strahd, so...
We basically rescued her from slavery. We're surprised that
37
she has enough silk dress on.
Micah 37 deception. I just felt that was coming.
Well, nobody was asking yet or anything to perceive it, so it's kind of, if they're not paying any attention in this case, that's... You don't have an NPC that you're trying to affect in this particular regard. Just other players. And those who aren't present wouldn't be able to notice. Alright.
Who is present?
Before, I had to completely redo stuff on PC. End up having all of his stuff in tabs, but that didn't transfer. Everything else did. So, 1 second. Alright. Let's see here. Alright, he does have a few different items that he had on him. Alright. Let's... So, the first thing that you're able to see on him is his cloak. It does seem to have a sort of pattern that starts very edges a purple magenta color, fading toward the center into black and blue, and then back down toward the bottom where it starts turning into purple again. And there is this shimmering cosmic sort of appearance to it, almost like looking up at the night sky when there's no city lights anywhere nearby. And there is a pair of boots that he has on him. A amulet. There is a poisoner's kit. There is a locket, a small totem that appears to be of a yellow bird. here. He has 9 daggers. There is a great sword in a sheath. The sheath itself has a fair bit of detailing on it. Seems to be etched into it what looks like a eclipse and a sun and moon separate from each other. A skull, a hand, and beams of light coming out of the sun portion. It is okay. And there is a glitch in the matrix. Yay. On one hand, he does have a small claw that is part of his glove, and a buckler, which is got wrapped, looks like vines on it, wrapping around each other.
Is he equally as poor?
One second.
So would take the yellow bird figurine.
He has 29 platinum.
And the platinum.
11 gold. And 5 silver.
Torque sees you take the platinum.
Yep.
Some of these items do appear to shimmer as if there is more to them, but they do not seem to show what they can do just simply by holding them in and of themselves.
Take the magical items. We'll figure that out and barter them later as necessary.
Okay.
Yes. Who shall carry these items? Someone we can trust.
I mean, you could give them to Garnick to carry. Oh wait, no. You could give them to Strahd. Oh wait, no.
Our fellowship is dropping like flies.
Yeah,
Just a little
you
bit.
could give it to benevolence.
Yeah, but we might want to use it later.
I'll let you have that one. I'll let you have that one for free. I'll
Let?
let you have that one for free. Yeah, I'll let him have that one with no Yeah. I don't have
argument.
much to say about that. Yeah, I don't have much to say about. I'll let him
We've already
have
got,
it.
we've already got the power sword. We just need you to show up when we need it now.
You know what? Chicken, but that's what. Yo, this guy. Oh man. It's good. This guy's good. No, I mean, so who's gonna hold it then? Just kind of look around.
Did the great sword look special?
Well, nobody's pulled it out of its scabbard, but it does have a very ornate scabbard.
Tark will check it out. Looks like a one-handed sword in his hand.
As you draw it out, the blade itself shifts and becomes smaller to a regular longsword, and then larger to more fitting as a greatsword for his size.
So it's a magical sword that adjusts to a person.
It is able to switch between different types of swords, and it may have other effects. Just by looking at it, though, and pulling it out of the scabbard, it is able to change.
That's legit. Puts it back in the scabbard, throws it in the handy haversack.
Umber's gonna pipe up. If you need help identifying that, I can do it for you.
Oh, okay. Take it back out, throw it at her.
Gee, thanks.
Underhanded toss.
Just javelin throw it at her. Hwah!
So you're identifying it then?
If she could do it as a ritual, it'd take.
Yes, you could do it as a ritual or by casting it.
I should do it as a ritual.
Roll a d20.
Oh yeah. Uh, 16.
Yeah, 10.
This is the Blade of the Eclipse. It is silvered. As a bonus action, it can change size and form to suit the wielder, meaning that you can apply a different type of damage die onto it, or if you have specific proficiencies that you're lacking, you can treat it as if you do have proficiency with that type of blade.
So it's 2d6 rapier, what?
If you choose to do so, or it can be a greatsword, a longsword, could even be a dagger, different types. When it is shifted and another bonus action is used on it, you can change it from having one of three effects. One, it can have the moon portion. activate, and it will add an additional d20 necrotic damage.
Ooh.
D20?
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
If the sun is up, it is a d20 radiant.
Alright.
If the eclipse is up, then you are able to resist necrotic or radiant for until it changes or 1 minute has passed.
Okay.
It does count as a magical blade, but it does not have any bonuses to attack or damage.
It's got a great bonus to damage. D20.
Yes, you just have to use the bonus action to add it. So, and you are able to change states a maximum of 3 times.
Any other takers?
She'll keep it.
Okay.
You know, just to keep out of reach of other people.
Shits and gigs.
Darwin just kind of adds in, it's like, I don't normally use swords or anything like that, so I think that you're fine with keeping that.
If anything, we can sell it. Or give it back to him if we get him revived.
Issue of how many people we're losing recently, I don't know how likely that's going to be. Plus, who knows how long he's been dead.
I thought you were the optimistic person.
I'm trying to be. I'm trying. Y'all are making it a bit difficult with how much you aren't optimistic about things.
Burn.
So, there are a few other items that could be identified if you chose to do so.
Alright, she'll take the time to identify those.
Okay. Go ahead and decide which item you want to examine first. There is the cloak, the boots, the totem, the amulet, the locket, the shield, the claw, and there does appear to be a shimmer from one of the platinum coins.
Oh boy. So she's gonna ask for assistance to identify all of these things. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is like an hour of identifying stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody want to assist with this?
I'm not gonna be any help with that fella. I am not well versed in that jazz.
I think I can. I should be able to.
Thank you.
Only if you stop being mean to me. Wait, who's identifying this?
Umbra. She
Never
doesn't even
mind.
talk to you.
Yeah, never mind. I thought it was my my quote unquote master. I have it. Wait, do I even have identify? Yeah, I should.
I don't think you need to have it. It'll just give her advantage on her roll.
Oh, okay, then yeah, I'll just help her. Let's have her.
And I think the more people that help,
Yeah,
it also
random
reduces the DC. Alright.
Okay. So which one were you starting with?
I started with the cloak, and she got a 13.
Marina got a 17.
We'll go with the 17.
All right. The cloak is the Cloak of the Void.
Nice.
When a ranged weapon attack hits you and you're wearing the cloak, you can use your reaction to make a DC 16 dexterity saving throw. If successful, the cloak appears to be a piece of distant night sky, and the ammunition used in the ranged attack passes harmlessly into the void of the starry sky. The cloak may also be activated separately as a standard action. When it is, the wearer may place an item smaller than the area of the cloak into the void. Storing and retrieving items in this way functions in the same way as a bag of holding, with no limit on storage space.
That's amazing.
Living creatures who pass into the void will suffocate in 1 minute. A creature who charges into the activated cloak makes a DC 15 dexterity saving throw to avoid passing into the void. When the cloak's abilities have been active for a total of 2 minutes, it ceases to function until the wearer has completed a long rest. Any item stored within the void for more than 10 hours is lost forever.
Oh, negative.
It does require attunement.
I mean, if you're trying to smuggle something, I guess.
If you're a bounty hunter, for example.
Or if you're trying to kill someone.
Trying to kill somebody. If you're a magus of the Shadow Court who's trying to, get relics from old places and keep them hidden from people who might try to rob you as you're tomb raiding.
Yeah,
You
here,
know.
step into my home.
Lots of useful different things. It is able to be turned inside out to spill it out if anything is stored within it.
That's nice. Alright, so, these boots that are made for walking.
That's just what they do.
I got a 15.
Okay. These are called bitter boots. If you are swallowed by a creature, the creature must make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw at the end of each of its turns, or else it regurgitates you. Additionally, the creature has a disadvantage to track you using smell, and as a bonus action, once per day, you may simultaneously use Pass Without a Trace and Stinking Cloud.
Once per day?
Once per day, as a bonus action.
That fit pretty
so
well.
sorry. I am so sorry.
I say give that one to Banana. Banana? Give that one to Benevolence. That sounds like it actually fit him pretty well.
It's not like he's gotten eaten the most.
No, but the idea of him having passive found a trace is just really funny to me. And
Well, who
Stinking
has
Cloud.
Honestly, me probably. It would be funny.
Okay. You. Well, does it require attunement?
It does not.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I have Boots of Elvenkind too, so like,
Oh.
so I mean, it'd be funny. Just a giant boulder that's able to pass around very quietly.
Man, it's like that statue's moving awfully fast, don't you think, Billy?
Goddamn right. Back in my town, they didn't move. They just stood there. That's weird.
All right. And I guess the amulet is next.
Okay. The amulet. Go ahead and roll up for that.
That is a 1-5.
All right. This is a amulet of safeguarding. Once each month during the full moon, you can spend an hour meditating over this amulet. When you do, it captures a complete record of you as you are at that moment, including your physical body, the items you're carrying, your experience, and your memories. If you die, the amulet will break in a brilliant flash of light, and you'll be restored to the version of yourself that the amulet had last recorded. Any items you were carrying when you died that the amulet had no record of disappear, and any magical effects on you cease. If you do not spend the hour meditating over it within the month's time on the full moon, it will simply not store anything. It does require attunement.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so you're describing those off to people, right?
Yes. Also, if Garnick had this, why didn't it work unless he recently picked it up?
He recently picked it up, and unfortunately it was not a full moon yet. Until it was already him killed by his wife and mistress, who both had been underwent ceremorphosis before they were brought back. So despite the physical changes and such, that didn't cure that fully. It still messed with them.
Yeah. Alright, you'll chime in and say, I can give that one to someone.
Okay. Here you go.
Eon just slowly walks over and takes it, looking at it for a moment.
For the low
Before-
price of your soul.
I was about to say, bold of you to assume I have one, but I don't think Eon would make jokes like that, because that's a bad bit of history for his kind, and it's not something they make jokes about.
Well, I mean, cheap.
Oh yes, the time we got almost entirely enslaved and burned down for energy, all because multiple races of gods just didn't like us and were racist. Such a joking topic.
Yeah, exactly.
Hilarious.
No. And then he's going to go ahead and take that and walk back down to the slaves where everyone else is at.
Okay.
So he's no longer present up on the hilltop with the others that are up there.
I guess the locket is next.
Okay. The locket is a item that does not appear to have much magic to it, but you may go ahead and roll for the ritual for identifying it. It just appears to be fairly faint.
It has a wish spell in it, yay!
Again, why didn't he use this? 13.
Because garlic is dumb.
This is a retrospection locket. It does not require attunement. While wearing this necklace, you may capture 1 minute of your own memory. To do so, you must concentrate on that moment in time for an hour and succeed on a DC 15 intelligence check. Once per day, after memory is successfully captured, you can open the locket and project the memory as if casting a major image spell. Only one memory can be captured at a time. If you try to capture another one, it will remove the other one.
It's a picture hologram.
That's cool.
It does
So
appear
is it
to have
just a
one
picture?
sword.
Or...
No, it,
Oh.
when you open it, creates an image in the air of what happened.
Can we open it?
You can.
Let's see what's
Here.
in there.
Let's see what's inside.
Garnick was sending nudes.
Please.
That'd be a great time to have Major Illusion to make that happen. That'd be a good joke.
Okay. The item itself, once it is opened, shows a burning building. Wails and screams outside, and yet another wail inside a room as figure is crashing through items that have toppled and heading into a small enclosed room toward the wailing sound that is within the structure. Looming over a crib and pulling up a heavily mutated child with no sign of the mother anywhere nearby. There is a small tail coming off of the tailbone and tendrils in the hair. This is the memory of when Garnick first found Dare and rescued them from the burning building that Garnick's mistress had been in.
I feel bad for making a joke now.
Only a face of mother would know.
And so,
Nah, I'm bold of you to assume. That saying only goes so far. Does anyone... So Darwin's kind of asking the group, does anyone recognize who or what's going on with this? Because I'm not making much sense of it.
Would Syl know that was Dare? Or
you would assume that if it isn't Dare, it is definitely a child that looks much like Dare, you assume, would
Didn't Syl
have looked
fall
at.
in love with Dare?
Yes. But Dare is quite a bit older than an infant, so...
Hey, you can get his baby pictures.
Syl would like to hold on to that.
Okay.
Do you think you can make like an Inception where you have a memory of looking at a memory? And so kind of it's like that weird windowed effect where you like point a camera at an actively recording camera. So it's like constantly looping, like that long hallway effect.
Probably.
Give someone a seizure with that thing, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Distraction device, go.
So, yeah, like as I said, it does not require attunement. It just simply is able to store that information in there and has the one memory that it can hold in it.
Okay. Now is the claw.
Okay. claw itself extends out past the hand into copyright violation, and it extends past the hand into a sort of feline claw shape, like that of a big cat. It goes around the wrist and part of the hand. It cannot be disarmed by hitting it away or by fumbling on a natural one. It can still be damaged, but it cannot fall off if that is the roll. Additionally, it is a 1d6 slashing damage, finesse light. You have a +1 bonus to attack, damage, and rolls, and it counts as a magic weapon. And once per week, you can transform yourself into a cat as if the Druid's Wild Shape feature.
I have the oddest feeling Fennec would like that.
Yeah, let's save that for Finn. Okay. Shield.
One moment here. I have some outside noise to mute.
16.
$20. Yeah.
Alright. A little bit of Dad being irritated because the news still is copyrighted, so no, you can't have that separate from the headphones or it'll get picked up by this, because he's planning on having it louder than the dishes he's washing. Yay.
Nat 20 with help.
Alright. The shield. It is a buckler shield of grasping vines. The shield itself requires attunement by a spellcaster. While holding the shield, you have a +3 bonus to your AC, and the shield has 1d4 +1 charges and recharges 1d4 charges at dawn. It presently has a full 5 charges. Upon being attacked with a melee attack, you can expend one of the shield's charges to grab the opponent. The attacker must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the shield itself. A creature restrained by the shield can use its action to make a strength check against your spell save DC. On a success, it frees itself. Large and larger creatures can make this check with advantage. To maintain your hold on the creature, you must maintain your concentration for up to 1 minute. When holding a creature this way, your AC drops by 3, but you gain advantage on melee attacks with 5-foot range weapons in your other hand. In addition, it counts as a spell casting focus.
I'll tell you what, that actually might be kind of useful for Darwin with the stats he's got.
Yeah,
'Cause-
need a cleric alive or healer alive, not cleric.
Well, it's a weird combination. It's almost like it's a mix of a marksman and a healer, with the fact that he can be both DPS. Well, maybe not DPS, but definitely burst. And then I don't know. I don't know how to define what he's able to do, but he can do it.
He's a bard.
Yes, but he's also got what I want to say 7 or 8 levels. He's got more levels in sorcerer now, I think, than he does in bard. So he's technically better at damage than he is at healing. But because of the fact that they spell slot stuff does things, words are hard. It means. I don't even remember what the fuck I was trying to say. Ignore me. I'm just being dumb.
It means things happen.
Yeah, it means I cause pain and heal pain simultaneously.
Okay.
Like all medics should. Yeah, but so Darwin would kind of perk up at that and say, hey, that might be a bit handy for me. If all my spells and whatnot, and my strength at using them, that sounds like my kind of a fun time right there.
Are you a shield dwarf?
I'm pretty sure I can use a shield.
Okay.
I mean, how big is this buckler?
It's a buckler, so
It just
it'd be perfect.
Yeah,
for
so
you.
it's not
goes
big.
in the arm.
Yeah. Aaron could do that.
No, I meant like your race. Are you a shield dwarf?
There's a race of dwarf called the shield dwarf.
Yes.
I did not know that. He is not, by the way.
Okay. Well, now I guess you can be considered a shield dwarf.
I feel like this is the same thing as drop bears. Like, they're not. I don't feel like that's a real thing. But all right.
Next is that 1 platinum coin.
Go ahead and roll.
13.
Okay. This appears to be a token of the damned. It currently stores 9 soul pains within it. And when concentrated upon for a solid minute outside of combat, will give a full healing to the wielder once per day, but not to any additional wielders in the same day. However, after using it in this fashion, a soul that is on it will dissipate. When the souls are fully gone, over the next 12 days, you'll have dreams of torture, suffering, and pain, and a strange feeling of being watched. Those who are around you may be targeted with more of these tokens starting to appear. After each long rest, you must make a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or suffer the effects of long-term madness until you finish a long-term rest. Any attempts to get rid of the token will fail, either by randomly appearing back in your possessions or brought back to you by a stranger, unless you die.
Get rid of that shit, please. Don't want that.
Who? So does it get
At the end
Just
of
whoever.
at the end of the 12 days, each time you take a long rest, you must make a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw. On a failure, the ground beneath you will crack and break, showing one way toward an infernal realm. Arms and chains will burst out and start trying to pull you down into this hellish environment.
Can you put more soul pains on it?
You may.
Okay. That's not bad.
If
then.
you die while carrying it, you will automatically lose half the soul pains that you have. The only way to recover those specific soul pains will be a wish spell.
She's gonna hand that back to you. So yeah, you can keep that.
Yeah, I don't want that. That sounds like a horrible time. I don't think any of us want that, actually. That sounds really like the worst decision to bring that thing along.
Zill's gonna tuck it into her belt pocket.
Good luck with that, Sil. You're going to need it.
So I guess Garnick had 18 soul pains when he died.
No, that's just the charges that it has. You can
Oh.
fill it with charges to try and offset it eventually emptying and then having these things happen to you.
Okay.
If you do go down into hell and are not brought back and die again in hell, you will end up becoming a Lemire.
Those are fun. So it's it doesn't require attunement. It's only whoever has it on their possession.
Once somebody first concentrates on it for the full healing or tries to draw one of the soul pains out, it is locked to them.
Okay.
That still sounds scary as shit and don't want to do.
Does this look like a regular platinum, or does it look different?
There's just the slightest shimmer to it, and if you look closely, it looks like there are skulls and screaming faces in the reflection. But if you tilt it just slightly, they're not in the metal itself.
That sounds like something so we'll use. If she uses it, will she gain back her full HP, or no? She needs to take a long rest.
No, if you use it for the one use that it gets per day, you get your full HP back, but it cannot be done during combat.
So she can use it now,
Yes,
and she'll get her original HP back.
yes. It will heal you back to your full normal. This does include if you had your HP maximum reduced, it will heal it back up to what your maximum is.
Fantastic. She's gonna spend the 1 minute concentrating to get back her max HP.
Okay. As you spend the minute concentrating, the soul pain in there, you hear just this screaming of 9 wails, and the last one terminates in the middle of it, and the coin feels cold in your hand for just a second.
Wait, all 9 souls get used up?
No, 1 soul gets used up each time you do it. All
Okay,
9 of
that's
them
good.
screamed, but the last one was cut off.
Oh,
just screamed
okay.
in
So
your
there's
head.
8 left.
There's 8 left.
Okay. She can live with that. And she's back to her maximum HP.
You may use a creature that you've slain with a successful Arcana check to load a soul pain into there once per creature that is slain. But you do have to pass the DC depending on the type of creature, on how difficult it might resist. You only can load 1 when you do that, though. And only 1 per day.
How many can she load of the ones she already has?
Well, this one specifically is you can't feed your own into it. You have to slay something to feed it.
Oh, okay.
And if you fail, you still are not able to then attempt a different creature. So, it's definitely a terrible prospect if you keep slaying things that resist it too much, and then you end up injured enough that you need to heal from it, because you just start dwindling it down.
With that, like, could she do her rogue ability and the coin ability on the same thing?
Yes, though if it is something that's like a very low level CR undead, for example, it might not have enough soul pains to go to both. Whereas something that's living would have more typically, but say like squishing a bug is not going to give you enough for both, because it just doesn't have a soul pain. It's too fragmented and tiny.
Okay. That's it, right?
That is all that is visible. The cloak, as I said, is like a bag of holding where you can turn it inside out if you choose to.
Yeah, Umbra has bags of holding, so she can't store that clothes. Maybe in her back.
Well, I mean, she could wear it,
Backpack.
you know.
That is true. But it requires attunement.
Sure.
We'll let this... Oh, wait! The bird token...
Yes.
We didn't identify that.
Okay. Yep, I forgot that you had not done that yet. So, go ahead and roll your d20.
12.
Okay. This is a totem of resistance. After using an action to place it on a flat surface and speak its activation word or phrase, this totem will emit a colored aura for 30 feet radius. All creatures of your choice within the aura will have resistance to the totem's damage type as long as they do not leave the aura. Creatures cannot gain resistance after the totem has been activated, may enter the aura but receive no benefit. The totem emits its aura for up to 1 minute. It can be picked up or disabled by the creature that activated it before that time. Until then, other creatures cannot interact with the totem or enter its space. The totem has 1 charge, which it regains daily at dawn. This one has radiant resistance.
Okay. Guess that's it.
That would be it, unless you turn the cloak inside out.
Is there stuff in it? Could she tell if there's stuff in it?
You wouldn't know unless you open it. It's just like a bag of holding. You don't know what would be inside of it unless you saw it go in there. It's just like if you reach your hand in a bag of holding but you don't know, you can't grab it. But if you turn it inside out, everything spills out.
I guess she'll turn it inside out just to see if there's anything in there. In the
Okay.
past, what, 10 hours, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Fine, she'll flip it out.
Okay. There is an assortment of things that spill out once you
Yay!
turn it inside out. Among the pile, something is shifting
Oh no.
and making a whirring sound.
Oh. Can she use Mage Hand to pick it up?
You may attempt to do so if you wish.
She will attempt to do so.
Okay. It weighs too much for Mage Hand, but it does help shift it a bit more.
Is there stuff on top of it that she can move with the Mage Hand to help
Yes.
it up more? Okay. She'll use Mage Hand to clear this stuff away from it. Let's hope it's not a bomb.
I mean, that's funny, but not fun. You survived. You survived.
You catch sight of, as you're moving things, what looks like a metallic wing. Dented and bent out of shape.
Is this Buster?
As you keep working, you eventually do uncover the Modron which Garnick had said had been destroyed.
Lying piece of shit.
But you know, Garnick was not piloting himself.
Oh, that's true. Has Umbra met Buster before? Yeah, right?
Yes, in the keep.
Yeah.
There, Liker, motherfucker,
Does she have the mending spell? Would mending spell work on him?
It would help.
She is
Wait,
going
hold
to.
Buster's a construct, right?
Yes.
Call in your boy Eon. He got some tools to help.
Well, Umbra also can fix stuff, but,
Oh, but like
that takes time. Mending is just poof, mend.
I know, and he's got basically pinned on drugs when it comes to constructs.
Oh yeah, you are a freaking construct.
Remember?
She'll call over to Eon. Hey Eon, could use some assistance.
After a moment, Eon trudges up to where Umbra is and looks over and goes, "What? What is this?"
This is Buster.
Master, that mother, fucker.
He is very damaged.
There's a
But
whirring
keeping
of
up a
the
good fight.
wing as it tries to turn, some sparks and grinding sound.
I'm just gonna pick him up.
Motherfucker.
vulgar construct, I must say.
He's been through a lot.
You.
So, Eon will walk up and kind of inspect him for a moment before pulling out his little resurrection orb and saying, "This should work fine enough." And he's going to go ahead and pop a charge of that. He'll be within 10 feet, so he's not going to get any health back himself because he's actually still at full. But actually, hold
Does
up. Is he at
that
full?
work on constructs?
Yeah, it's the resurrection orb is basically like a very short range, like heal centered around itself. For basically, it's like a Necron tier like healing thingy.
That's specifically for constructs.
Yeah, because that's what Necron tier are constructs.
Okay.
The alternate type of construct, but constructs nonetheless. They spell constructs with a K. But only specifically the second C. The first C is still a C. But so he'll go ahead and pop that, and that will give back 2d6 to Buster to start.
Uh-huh.
I am blind and can't see my d6. It is around here somewhere. There it is.
Well, Umbra's gonna be casting mending on him.
Alright, so that is 7 HP back on the first usage of that resurrection orb.
As you are both working on fixing Buster, pieces of him start rattling from something inside.
Can Umbra pull out what's making that noise?
Okay. There is what looks at first like a scarab, but its iridescence is not from chitin. It is metal in nature. Few of them start flying out of Buster as you reach into the mouth and move your hand around. They just scurry up and then fly out and start swarming around the area. You hear the sound of gears ticking and starting to pick up pace.
Does Eon recognize these commands?
Go ahead and make a history check.
Well, no, the only reason why I'm asking is because there's specifically a thing that they have that are called scarabs that are literally what you just described, and I'm confused if those are those or if those are something else.
These are something else, but he might still have encountered them. Or
Okay,
at least
cool.
heard of them.
If he has, there might be a chance we can get him on our side. Let's find out. You said history check, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take that. Alright, not bad. Could have been higher dice for the first time I've rolled you in 3 weeks, but couldn't be bad. 12 plus 8, that is 20. So dirty 20, yeah.
Okay. The 5 of these that you see are clockwork beetle bombs. Used frequently in stories of the eternal clockwork and other different realms when used to blend into some of the native flora and fauna that is mechanical in nature and get them close enough to blow things up and start causing a little bit of distraction. The faster that they tick. Eventually they will make a ding sound and rattle like an alarm before blowing up. From what you've heard thus far, they are preparing to go off. They're not yet fully primed. There are 5 of them.
Okay.
Run
So-
away!
How fast were they able to move?
They are able to fly 25 feet.
Okay. Eon quickly just looks over at Umbra and says, "How far can you throw him?"
How far can I do what?
Throw him. This is no time to ask a question. Can you throw him farther than me or not?
Throw the buster?
Yes.
Are there any more of the things inside of him?
Not that you can feel with your hand inside of them.
She's going to cast Dimension Door and teleport. 500 feet away.
Okay.
Carrying Buster with her.
Okay.
500 feet away to a point she can see.
Well, I do suppose that also works, because I was literally just about to do a very simple thing.
All right.
So do I know about how much longer, or does Eon know about how much longer till they explode?
Probably 6 seconds before they start ringing, maybe 6 seconds after that.
Well, shit. I was gonna have him see if he could gain control of them by, like, intimidation, but that he don't got time for that. Well, it's time to show off a piece of equipment.
You don't know necessarily from direct interaction if they would respond to that.
So, general question. Are these guys all within about, I'd say, 15 feet of me, I think? I gotta check this again.
I would say yes. They are
Oh.
more or less were going to swarm around the 2 of you, but since Umbra Dimension Doored away with Buster,
All right.
then, yeah, it'd go around you next.
Okay, well, I suppose this is as good of a time as any to finally use this piece of equipment. The Shard of the Satan. And we're going to go ahead and use the Dragon Scream of Rage, because this is about the only opportunity I'm ever going to get to use that. Yeah.
Is the cloak? Do I still have the cloak, or was it on the ground?
Oh, well, you turned it inside out, so I'd say you'd have it, but you might
Oh.
not have everything that was in it. That stuff's on the ground still.
Well, don't worry. Dragon
it's not
Scream
gonna be
of
there for long.
I don't... Well, maybe it does. Hold up. That stuff might be slightly electrified. Sort of. So... Eon's gonna go ahead and use...
What's the range of that?
It's basically a 20-foot cube around Eon.
Who was in the area?
I was about to say, I think
Darwin.
it was just us.
I'd say
thought.
that if Syl was going to, Umbra was going to take the cloak away from the others just to be on the safe side, that would make sense at least. So you didn't specify,
Yeah.
but everybody
Should've
can
been,
watch
yeah.
from a distance because Umbra's the one who'd be identifying things anyways.
She'd be 30 feet away to make sure nothing happens, and she'd open it away from the group.
Okay, so yeah, like I said. So,
Alrighty. So Dragon Scream of Rage, which is basically just Thunder Wave. I have to double check what roll they get to dodge that damage here real quick. One sec. I just realized I didn't actually write down Thunder Wave itself. Because I'm some kind of special monkey. Okay, it's a Constitution saving throw. And I gotta double check what the DC is.
At the 25-foot cube, Thunderwave is 15 foot.
No, it was 20, I think. Hold up.
In a 50-foot cube originating from you must make a con safety throw.
Oh yeah, so I probably wrote that down wrong. Yeah, but so it is Constitution.
okay. Well, the first one has a 3. The second one has a 10. Third one has a 7. Fourth one has a nat 20 for a 21. And the fifth one has a 4.
One more time, what were those numbers?
The highest of them was 21 for the one that rolled a nat 20. The next highest was 10.
Yeah, so the only one that's going to pass then is the 21.
Okay.
And so those other 4 get to watch the light show and feel the light show. So not Darwin, goddamn, I keep on saying Darwin tonight. Eon just kind of raises up his ring and a red glow kind of traces along it, building up towards his mouth and face, and anyone who happens to be watching sees just kind of the outline of almost a dragon's head appear over his, before this big thunderous sound comes out from around him and does a bunch of damage that I now have to roll for, with only 1d8.
And it
it's 5d8.
screams, Fusroda!
Boost row!
So,
Alright, so we have 3, 6. How do you add 4 to 10? 18. 20. And that's 5. Okay, so 20 damage there. And I believe that is all force damage. And they're also being shoved 10 feet back.
okay. I need to have this one make a saving throw. The explosions from the destruction of the 4 do end up causing shrapnel to hit the last one. And a few seconds later of it spiraling as it is flying and spinning through the air like a loose bottle rocket that has been bent slightly. It into the snow before there's a and just little tiny gears and other things spitting out through the snow and pinging off of each other, sounding much like Sonic losing his rings.
Awesome.
Now, if only Eon knew who Sonic was, then he'd get. Eon looks about and he works like, worked better than I expected. Filthy
I'm just
Satan.
gonna arduously start walking the 500 feet back to where she was.
Yeah.
No, so the other plan of action there was to have Umbra chuck Buster, and he's got his little phase shifter thing, which is basically just really shitty version of Dimension Door, where he can only go a max of 50 feet. and it's like it's got like 3 charges and that's it.
Yes.
And it has to be visual range. It can't be like something he remembers. He has to be able to see it. So it's your idea worked better. You also have to walk a really far distance. So good luck.
So, these things only had 10 HP and 14 AC for the armor, so not terribly difficult to take them out. But
Yeah, but cool. And now I have to wait for a long rest before I can even use that specific spell again for that ring. I swear if we find more of those things, I'm gonna be like, alright, you guys can deal with those ones. I got the first batch. Y'all get the next ones. I don't like explosives. But so Eon then double checks on that 5th one though, just to make sure it's actually dead and not some kind of pretend dead.
yeah, it has definitely been, like, blown to pieces. So,
That is good.
alright. Well, now that the bombs have been dealt with, there are a few items that are still in the pile where the cloak had been emptied out.
Would they have been pushed back 10 feet before exploding?
You're talking about the
Because that,
beetles?
yeah, because Thunderwave also pushes them back
Yeah.
10 feet.
Right, but they were flying, and so their push is not necessarily just along the ground. It also goes up and down in other directions and such.
Yeah,
But,
good point.
Yeah, so,
Depends on where they are in relation to the kind of center of push.
yeah. And they were trying to swarm around you, so it's kind of like thwap and yeet them away. So, of the things that are left, there appears to be a few different items. There is what seems like a small music box with some oceanic nautilus and oyster and pearl looking design carved into this driftwood that it seems to be made out of, with green patina on some copper pieces that are the metal used to hold it together. There is a black skull that is atop a long staff. There is a key that appears to have been fashioned out of a piece of blackened, charred bone with runic markings on it. There is a blade that has some runic markings carved into it. There's a set of plate armor that utterly reeks of rotting meat and offal, and yet it wriggles. There is a mummified simian paw, and there is a singular vest.
Does magic glow around any of them?
Around all of those.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Welcome to
Alright.
identify.
77 more minutes of identifying.
While this is going on, Eon's gonna head back over to Buster and continue using up another charge or two of the resurrection orb to help prepare him up.
Yeah, on the 500-foot walk back, she's gonna be casting mending on him and seeing if he can talk clearly.
Motherfucker. Thank you. Hombre.
I can't tell if he said bastard or butler.
Buster.
He said, "Thank you, Umbra."
Mustard?
Buster.
Ah.
His name.
No, I thought... No, I was talking about what Buster was saying.
Yes, he said his name.
So he was saying Buster motherfucker?
Motherfucker is what he says to say yes.
Yes.
Because when he first got fixed way back when by one of the other PCs, the first thing that she said once it activated was motherfucker.
Yep.
And no is fuck you.
Fuck you.
Oh,
Who taught him that? Was that Syl?
No.
Sounds like a Syl.
That was before Syl even. That was before they got into the Frostheart. It was the construct that looked like a crustacean kind of construct for her character. Yeah, she was with the party from the beginning and then left shortly after meeting Buster.
Alright. Umbra's gonna talk to him in Celestial, see if he's more clear with that and less vulgar.
And it's a wonderful thing to hear the tongue of civilization once again.
Yeah, it's not a tongue I've heard often. Can you tell me your little journey that you had?
I was trying to get back to Castle Ebonpeak and badly damaged. Managed to get out of the wandering woods and fought many different things in the sewers before climbing up. There was many times I was pinned to a wall and had to wait until I could start to move again. And then there was very strange things happening over and over and over and over and over and over again. Once I was outside the castle, I met Garnick and then was attacked.
Did you see the big creature in the sewer?
No.
Lucky you.
I was pinned to the wall for several hours at a time.
Unlucky you.
Yes. Motherfucker.
About how long ago were you freed?
Unknown. I was pinned multiple times. I kept returning to where I had first entered the sewers.
So you never made it into the castle proper?
Eventually I did, and then I got out of it.
Who was in the castle?
Unknown.
That's not good. Have you seen any of our other associates? Party members?
Right now,
When you were over there in the castle?
unknown. Thought I had seen some, but then they were not there. And then I was back in the sewers.
Like a spell or something happened?
Unknown.
Let's hope it was a spell and not something those things can do.
It was as if chronology was rewritten.
And that's bad?
It is against the natural order.
It is, yes.
Justice and order are necessary.
Absolutely.
Those who violate it too badly for either are punished by forces beyond the Great Modron.
So do you feel like you're up to the task of meting out this justice with us?
He looks down at his body, which has been being repaired between the efforts that Umbra and Aeon have been doing.
I should be soon at least, by the time we get there, hopefully.
I could make you some things if you tell me what you want. Do you want a bigger body? Something like the size of Aeon?
I am Buster. This is me.
So, just repair your normal body and give you a new sword and shield?
Yes, motherfucker.
Would you like a helmet?
He reaches a squeaky hand up and bangs the top of his metal head, which is also his body with the way that he's constructed.
Oh, that's right. So a helmet would be like a suit of armor.
At least one might say.
No,
So
it's
just
it's like a metal burqa.
or a metal onesie.
Don't put a metal onesie in my mind. That sounds horrible. Imagine the chafing.
Alright, so one shield would be a small shield or a medium shield.
Small.
Okay, he uses small construct. And one small shield, sword, or what type of weapon would you like?
That would suffice, yes.
Alright.
For great justice. Might.
That shouldn't take me too long to make. I should have it to you by the end of the day if we stop to take a rest.
It would be much appreciated. Thank you.
Anything for a defender of justice.
For great justice. Thank you.
So is Umbra back
Uh,
with everybody by now?
I would hope so. 500 feet's not that long, but she is walking through snow, so
Yeah, it's only what? Basically slightly less than 1/10 of a mile.
Yeah, they're talking a bit back and forth, so I'd say that that's long enough.
do we need to wear snowshoes?
You might not need to. Buster has
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
been trudging through the snow. He's just been
I was about to say,
moving his
Leon,
arms like he's swimming through it, but just shoving away snow every single time he moves.
Yeah, she'll make snowshoes for him. Mm. She should have enough metal to make those things.
As far as the snowshoes, I'll say go ahead and make an intelligence check.
That is a dirty 20.
Okay. You quickly realize that, while you can make snowshoes, the sheer size that they would have to be in order to offset his much higher density would mean that he would not be able to really move on his own. However, you do remember that there were the sleighs, which had been partially unburied, and 2 of them which had been fully unburied.
So make him a little sled that we can pull him along on?
That, or he could just ride on it.
Don't forget we've got those sleighs now too.
Yeah. Okay.
He stole some whips.
Mm. Would making a small sword and shield be half the cost of a normal sword and shield?
I would say it's probably more like 2/3.
Alright, so let's do some math.
Okay.
$10 GP for that.
500 GP for that.
Actually, she just could take the equivalent cost of the metal and instacraft it. Alright, so we're gonna do our little kumbaya and spend 77 minutes identifying magical stuff.
Okay. So, which item are you going to identify first?
The music box.
Okay.
And gonna ask Eon if you will assist. And Linnell.
I was about to say, I don't know how exactly Jan can assist, but
You just give the advantage.
yeah, sure. He'll see if he's got a bit of history ratting around in his brain to help identify something, maybe.
So, as you are identifying the mermaid music box, are you leaving it shut or open?
She just needs to touch it, right? She doesn't need to open it?
No. It's just if you want to look at it and try to investigate anything about it.
I think she'd not open anything just to be on the safe side until she learns, unless it says like this needs to be open to learn more about it, then she'll open it.
Okay. So
no, she won't open it.
this is a siren music box. A music box that, when opened, begins to play the song of a siren, which would normally cause you to fall asleep and fall into the water to be eaten if you were on a ocean-going vessel. As it causes you to fall asleep, it will continue to play until closed, keeping you asleep potentially forever. Even being separated in distance from the box will not wake you up until the box is closed or destroyed. If opened underwater, or it falls into water, it summons a siren to you. 1 per minute.
Hold up.
Okay.
Question, and this is gonna sound like a dumb question. So you said it's whoever opens it gets that effect on them, right?
Anybody who hears it and fails a charisma check, who is not immune to sleep.
What are the odds the big beastie in the castle is immune to sleep?
Very high.
Fuck. Yeah, it's worth a shot. That doesn't sound like it's too worth the time.
It's the type of item.
Does it work if you're deaf?
If you are touching it when it opens, I would say that you'd still hear it conducting through your bone. However, if you, say, used something else to open it up, then it wouldn't. Yeah. If you're deaf, you wouldn't hear it. Or, because it's magic, it's more than just, like, normal auditory. I'd say you'd probably have advantage on the check.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, next. The Black skull on the staff. That is a 12.
All right. The next is a Skull of Corruption.
Ooh.
The staff lets you steal the dreams of others. It starts with 10 charges and regains 1d10 plus 2 at dawn. You may expend 1 charge to deal 1d10 psychic damage to any target of your choice within 120 feet of you. If you spend at least 1 hour during another person's rest performing a dream thieving ritual, the damage increases to 2d10 for 24 hours. The person you do the ritual to may make a wisdom saving throw against DC 20 to awake. When awoken, the person will believe you to be hostile and immediately attack you.
Isn't that... That sounds like from Elder Scrolls. Staff of Corruption?
So, it does not require
Okay.
attunement, but if somebody else takes it from you, they still would have to themselves do that ritual to have the extra damage.
Okay. This black bone key. 13.
Okay. So, this skeleton key silently casts
Is
knock.
there a way to, like, send this all to me instead of me having to type it out?
Yes, I'll be sending stuff to you.
Okay.
This skeleton key, once per day, lets you cast knock without creating any sound, and may be used beyond that an additional 3 times, but it will create the sound on those uses. However, it is a 1d4 chance that it will be with or without the knock on use until you have burned through the charges and lowered the chances of it being one with knock having the sound.
That sounds useful. Alright, the blade with runes, and I got a nat 20.
Okay. This is a runic blade. If you are a spellcaster holding it, you may use it as a spellcasting focus, and you gain the following benefits while holding the blade. You gain a +2 to spell attack rolls, and your spell save DC increases by 2. In addition, when you reduce a creature to 0 hit points and it dies, you regain a spell slot up to 3rd level. You must finish a long rest before you use this feature again, and it does require attunement by a spellcaster.
Is that every time you reduce a creature to 0 HP? Or is it once a day?
It's the once per long rest before you can use it again.
Alright. Remember this stinky plate armor.
Okay. This is Nurgle's living plate.
18.
The armor appears to be nothing more than rotting meat and offal that is inexplicably still moving. If it is touched, it instantly attaches to the target, attempting to strangle them. Should the target fail a DC 12 strength check, the trial begins. The armor forms a filthy, rotten meat shirt on the target and is impossible to remove. It is benign and does nothing until the target takes a long rest. When the player falls asleep, this armor slowly eats its way through their armor, after which it will attempt to eat and possess the user. The sleeper must make a DC 13 Constitution save, followed by a DC 13 Wisdom save. Should they fail either, they take 1d10 necrotic damage and wake up. If they succeed both saving throws, the armor forms into a shed of shoulder plates and a chest plate with a massive gaping mouth. This grants them an armor class of 18, proficiency in Constitution saving throws, immunity to disease, resistance to poison damage, and the following. Second Skin's Rotten Bulwark. The Bulwark of Flesh now makes your armor and body harder to punch through. You gain resistance to non-magical bludgeoning and slashing damage. Plague Lord's Maw. Once per turn, you may make an attack with a gaping mouth on your chest using strength. On a hit, it deals 1d10 plus your strength modifier, piercing damage, and 1d6 poison damage. In addition, you can use your action to non-magically cast Burning Hands, replacing fire with poison damage. You may use this once, regaining use at dusk. It also has 1 of 4 flaws, 1d4 rolled each time you take a long rest. First potential flaw, require twice the amount of food you normally would. 2, pure and clean things disgust you, and good and kind creatures are the bane of your existence. You have disadvantage on persuasion checks against good creatures. Plagues and illness. Disease and filth are your friends. You want nothing more than to infect yourself and others with Nurgle's pestilent blessing. If a creature spends more than 1 minute within 10 feet of you, they must succeed on a DC 15 saving throw or contract a disease. And number 4, you reroll from that list.
So once she touches it, she has to make these saving throws? Or
Yep.
once they put it on?
Once you touch it, you must make the saving throw to try and resist it.
And it's a con and wisdom save?
It is a strength save to first try to resist it trying to grab you.
Okay. What's the DC for that?
It was a DC 12.
This is sad. She rolled a 6.
Okay. So,
It eats away her armor, or does it only happen on the long rest?
it is formed over your armor and such, and won't do anything until you take a long rest. You do know what it is going to try to do, however, because you identified it.
Can she cast, remove Cure Curse?
Well, it, in its and of itself, is technically not cursed until you have one of the flaws.
Okay. Well, she doesn't have that spell anyway, so I was just asking.
Yeah.
So Umber just put on the armor?
She touched it, and it fought and forced itself on her.
Yeah, she's like, no!
It basically knitted itself into a meat sweater around her armor. And yes, that is as disgusting as it sounds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and she has keen smell too. Oh, she's not having a good day.
No, she's not.
She is the very sad.
So, question:
Mhm.
Is this meat vest thing alive? Technically,
Technically, yes.
So it's a living
Virgo's
creature.
living place.
Yes.
all right. So it's a living creature, and I know. Let's give this a try. Let's see if this works. Okay. So, Eon's gonna stare at it for a moment, and basically he's gonna reach out and just touch Umbra on the shoulder and activate the phase shifter, because that is dimension door for a range of 50 feet. But a very key thing about the dimension door is that you can only bring one living creature that is willing with you. You cannot bring two. You can only bring one. And I do believe that should there's a 50-50 chance this either separates it from the armor that Umbra's wearing, or something a little bit less good for cold weather happens, if you catch my drift. Although Linnea will appreciate the view. But let me double check it here real quick what it says for Dimension Door.
This is very special armor, bro. It's gonna take forever for her to make it again.
Yeah, so you can bring one other willing creature of your size or smaller, which, again, Umbra is the same size class. It's the group. And it's going to take Umbra's gear with. I think. It should.
Dimension Door
Please
can
carry.
let you carry as many objects as you choose to. That as long as there's something you can ordinarily
Yeah.
carry on your own without exceeding your maximum load.
Yeah, and then you can also bring along one willing creature.
Yes.
Of your size.
And since it can be used to escape a cloaker and a rug of smothering and animated armor, etc., yes, the spell would work.
Alright. And so that completely separates it from Umbra's armor as well, and doesn't just leave the armor behind, does it?
No, because Umbra is wanting to take her armor with, but not it.
Okay. Perfect. Alright. And so they just teleport just basically a good 30 feet back away from that thing. And then looks over and says, should we burn that?
Now that you're free to potentially explain what all in all that you identified on it, you can make that decision.
It's not bad. But I think a lot of the cons outweigh the pros.
So burn it.
Definitely don't touch it.
Can I poke it with a stick? Or my sword?
Yes. But we should definitely just leave that there.
Will you be able to identify the other objects without touching it? Or having it jump on you again?
Yeah. You just have to touch it, and then it'll try to force itself on you.
I see. Let's not touch it again, shall we?
That is not. She's going to cast Unseen Servant and have this servant put on the armor and walk as far away as the spell allows.
Okay. And since it can automatically fail its checks if it chooses to, that does work.
And it's not a living thing anyways, right? So it wouldn't have to make a check.
I'm saying that the Unseen Servant, you know, if you wanted to make it make a check, it can choose to automatically fail anyways, so it doesn't need to roll one, because you want it to go away. That's what I'm saying. So, it works. You get it separated out from the other items, and then you can just dismiss the Unseen Servant, and it flops down into the snow.
Yeah. That's
Just
someone else's problem.
Watch where you step. Hey, Buster, I got snowshoes. Okay.
Alright. Plate armor. The literal monkey's paw. That is a 15.
Okay. This is a literal monkey's paw. The mummified monkey's paw holds up 3 fingers and functions as a ring of wishes. However, it is cursed.
Holy shit.
Each wish is interpreted in a way to bring as much misfortune to the user as possible and any involved in the wish itself. The monkey's paw will still follow the wording of the wish, so it can be thwarted with very desperate care. But where the wish spell in and of itself was lenient on certain things, the monkey's paw is not. It is very, very prone to twisting anything possible to make those who use its wishes utterly dreading that they had any wishes left on it after using it even the first time. Unless they do them in quick succession, in which case, unless they're careful, they will rue the day for the rest of their lives.
Ha. Do you want to try this out? Yeah. What's your name? Buster.
Like, no. Like you.
Yeah, I didn't think so. This is a bad thing. Can you hold on to it to make sure no one uses it?
Motherfinger.
Thank you. Now, if we used remove curse, would it act like a
It would.
ring of wishes?
It would not.
I was about to say, we do have a couple of rather intelligent fellows around. They might be able to logic out the perfect way of wording a wish to help us without actually causing bad things to happen, but
Or at least less bad things.
yeah. It might take a bit of time to find the proper way to word it.
I'm kind of tempted to use it, but Buster's keeping hold of it, so no one uses it. That is a 10.
The last item is a dealer's vest. It is a simple vest worn by dealers of the world to protect them from anyone they may want to play games with. The threads are one of glistening metal and regular fabric. The ACE is equal to 12 plus dexterity plus charisma. You can cast Mage Hand as a bonus action on your turn, as if you are casting Mage Hand Legerdemain, feature from the Arcane Trickster archetype. It does require attunement for this, but it does not require any restrictions or other things to the AC. If you are have anything that is temporarily boosting your AC, such as shield or other things that stack with each other, they would be able to potentially stack on this.
Is that it?
That is it.
Oh, I'm sad. I thought it was gonna have something to do with cards. But
Well, the Mage Hand
Dexterity plus-
Legerdemain is what you can use it for without being an arcane trickster rogue. When you cast it, you can make it invisible and perform the additional tasks with it. Store one object the hand is holding in a container worn or carried by another creature. Retrieve an object in a container worn or carried by another creature. You can use thieves' tools or picklocks and disarm traps at range, and other functions of a typical mage hand.
Yllenda could have used this, but she dead.
She did.
She ain't gonna be in the campaign. Could Yllenda wear it? She has high dex and charisma, right?
Potentially.
Could she wear the vest and the Santa suit?
Potentially. Might be warm, but yeah.
Alright. She'll give the vest to Linnell and tell her all of its properties.
Okay.
And I think that's it. Got rid of that plate armor. Bladed runes. Buster's a spellcaster, no?
He is a paladin.
Half-caster? Could he attune to the blade with the runic blade?
Potentially.
Here you go, Buster. Here's a runic blade. It does this, and you can use it as a spell focus. And she'll gather up a couple bars of steel from the scarabs, grab up all the metal from them, and make a small shield with her Instacraft.
Okay.
If there's enough metal for that.
Yeah, there should be just enough to do that. Alright, and I've sent you all of the assorted different items and such.
The amulet is safeguarding, though.
Yeah. I had that as an item before Yllenda had the wish that brought back his wife and his mistress. And it's like, ooh, buddy, how well are you going to do on talking to them and not doing something that's going to screw things over? If you are making the claw without the wild shape feature in it, yeah, you can do that without much difficulty.
Yeah, she just wants to make the claw and then be able to put her own enchantments on it, or like if someone wants to order one, she could put enchantments on it. Instead of a cat, maybe turn them into, something better, like a wolf. Totally unbiased. But I think gonna call it a night. Everyone else is gone.
Alright, well, with that, we will end the session off and see how things go later. Alright. We are now off air.